Personally, I don't recognize them because they are in a campaign to destroy my church, to destroy the Church of Jesus Christ, charismatic faith healing churches. She made lies, first of all, that I said I went to heaven. And for who is she protecting if she will campaign? Now there's a lawsuit coming for her and the commission. They need to apologize and reverse all those things that they've spoken. She is there to destroy. And legally speaking, I'm meeting with my legal team on Thursday. And then soon you'll hear, she got a letter from my lawyers to say she must apologize. She didn't. She's been given 2 years to apologize. She's not doing that. She's continuing with her mission to destroy. Thoko Nonhle and this commission will not succeed to close down Christianity.
Now we'll come to that particular question, but I'm asking you a question this morning. We'd like to find out from you, what do you make of this? Do you support the regulation of all churches in South Africa? That's the question we have for you on the Twitter handle as well as on the Facebook page. You can respond to it. Let's take a look at what you are telling us. This one coming from TV Police with Tilo. He says, they forever asking for money from the general public, but they never disclose what the money is used for. It's called accountability, says TV Police with Tilo. This one from Lamudi says, yes, 100% I support them. Let them explain their lavish lifestyles. And this one from Sipeshisle says, in the interest of society, institutions that woo the public need to be regulated by the state and operate under the law. Now, those are some of your comments. I'll come back to some of them because we continue our discussion on the issue of religion and churches and whether or not they should be regulated. Now, every religious practitioner in this country must be registered and fall under the umbrella organizations. Every registered religious leader should have a location where he or she conducts religious ceremonies, and this could be churches, homes, mosques, temples, even mountains, open fields and tents. These are some of the recommendations made by the Commission for the Promotion and Protection of the Rights of Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Communities, in short, the CRL. The Commission presented its report to Parliament following its investigation into the commercialization of religion and abuse of people's belief systems. However, the recommendations have been met with some resistance in some quarters. The Freedom of Religion South Africa said it was not persuaded that licensing of practitioners was the way to go. Joining us now in studio is Ms Thoko Nonhle Mkhwanazi-Xaluva, the Chairperson of the Commission for the Promotion of Rights of Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Communities, or the CRL Rights Commission. A very good morning to you, ma'am, and welcome.
Morning.
Now, we've gone through this a number of times, but now you've produced your report. Firstly, take us to the report and what are some of the key recommendations?
Some of the key recommendations, as you've mentioned, we're saying, number one, every religious leader must be registered, duly registered, with an umbrella organization. First and foremost, you must belong to one. There are many, like your South African Council of Churches, CLEFA, SOSIC, Great Commission. There are many that exist from different formations. So be a member of one. And that one umbrella organization is the first port of defense, where they will guide you, train you, capacitate you in how to run an institution, teach you about the laws of the country, about when you pay taxes, how you do this, how you do that. And if you are out of line, they are the ones who will discipline you. And we're saying there's a second level of defense in case the first one fails, what we call a peer review committee, which is also religious leaders, no state involved. That will then be the second level where you can appeal as a religious practitioner, etc. But that's when a decision is taken to say, okay, maybe you're suspended because of what you've done, or they ask for you to be removed from the register of religious leaders in the country. And then they'll inform the CRL Rights Commission that you must be removed. We'll check and see if all procedures have been followed and take the final decision and make the relevant recommendation to say, Pastor Xaluva, you are now being removed from the role. You cannot perform this kind of career choice anymore. But if you wish, of course, you can take us on review, judicial review.
So this will actually give access to the public to see whether or not a pastor or a church is registered.
Exactly.
And give them peace of mind.
Give them peace of mind.
There's one gentleman that's not very happy with you. Your response to Prophet Paseka Motsoeneng, a.k.a. Mboro's accusations, of course, and that you haven't responded to them and you have not apologized to him, and that he's taking you to court in relation to the report.
We are saying this is we're a country, a democratic country. If you feel your rights have been harmed in one way or another, you have a right to go to court and let the courts decide how these things work. But we remain convinced that he has no case whatsoever, and we are going to go ahead until he actually does it. As he says in the clip, his lawyers asked us to apologize for the thing that was in social media about him going to heaven or whatever. We said we had nothing to do with that. All that we did was that because we felt there was a harm to the religion, there were serious allegations, we asked him through a summons to come forward and explain whether this is fake news or real. He refused to come. We went and laid charges at the police station. So his matter is sub judice, basically.
Chairperson, what do you think in relation to the compilation of the report, the biggest problems within the South African religious sector?
It's mainly the exploitation of poor people, the exploitation of people who are already suffering. Maybe you've got illness, maybe you're not advancing as fast as you had hoped, maybe your children are not getting jobs. The whole issue of poverty, inequality and unemployment is brought into the whole discourse because people become more desperate, more gullible, because they feel that their lives are not moving forward. And then comes a particular pastor who then promises you heaven and earth and tells you, if you do this, God tomorrow will give you a job. God tomorrow will make you equal to those you see who are now higher up. And of course, if you're desperate, you're easy to mislead. And then if you are someone who wants to exploit others, you see an opportunity and you get in there and you exploit them. And for us, we feel it's abusing the religion itself.
Yes. But it's not only Pastor Mboro who is not happy about the recommendations by the CRL. The Freedom of Religion, they are also suggesting that the report will not curb the problems and the exploitation that you are referring to.
We are saying we want to professionalize this particular sector. Doctors have their own, health professionals, counsellors, lawyers have their own. Everybody is being managed by their peers. That has nothing to do with freedom of religion. It can't be freedom of religion that says, I'm free to feed people snakes. I'm free to do whatever. Don't interfere with my thing here.
Don't look at my books.
Yes, but you see, what we're saying is, let their peers say to us, this is outside the doctrine, this is exploitation, and we feel freedom of religion as in South Africa as an NGO. They are misunderstanding, or they've chosen to misunderstand what we're saying. Professionalizing the sector has nothing to do with the doctrine. The problem is not in the Bible. The problem is with the individual who has taken a particular career path to be a pastor, a reverend, or whatever, who is now doing something wrong. And like in all other professions, the individual must be dealt with.
Now, we're asking our viewers whether or not they support the regulation as proposed by you. Do you think that that will curb all the problems that we've seen within the religious sector?
If everything we're proposing is implemented, Parliament capacitates us to do this through legislation, through financing, we are completely sure it will stop abruptly. And all the bad elements will be removed by their peers from the system. If you like the grass, go be a gardener. If you like snakes, go work in a snake park. And they'll all be deployed to relevant careers. And life will move on. And those that are in the business of pushing the gospel forward will continue with the work like it was happening before.
Ma'am, I thank you for your time, and really, that was said in a nutshell. Thank you so much for that report. I think it's going to save us a lot, and that's why we're asking you that question. Do you support the work of the CRL and, of course, the proposition that's on the table right now that all churches must be regulated? I would like to get your thoughts on that. We'll read some of your comments in a short while around that question. So, if you believe that you are a snake handler, leave religion. There we go. We'll take a break and we'll be right back after that.